Welcome, Kijos. Good to see you. Let's wait for some more people to join. Let me check if the sound should be good. Arno, good to see you as well. Een goede avond. Slatan, as usual. Good to see you as well. I haven't had a good look at the charts today, but we had crazy rotations. Pretty violent as well. If you compare what we had like the weekend rotations, and these are obviously much stronger. But yeah, we'll go into it in 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, I have to do it over again. In the meantime, gold also interesting. So we're gonna have a look at BTC first, gold, then dollar also interesting. Oil, I mean, and let's see, where's the US? Yeah, it's also looking pretty interesting. So few coins to discuss, and all markets are showing the importance of the swing failure, aka the SFP, which is working out super nicely. I will share some examples on ETH, on BTC, and now we also have the ES, which gave that sweep of, like if we pull it from this high, low, lower high, low, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, SFP of your market structure low, so no close below, rotation back to your high and above. So the ES is breaking 4-hour back to bullish, back within the last week's horizontal level. Currently in an important supply zone, which is also like the 4-hour market structure level. Looking pretty interesting. Yeah. So Kijos asking, could it be that it's end of Q1 price action 2 with all the news as well? Yeah, that definitely is possible. Like the last day of a month is usually, you can get some, like this is a perfect example indeed, like wild rotations both sides. And now it's also like the start of a new quarter, so not only a new month but also a new quarter. So then the big players might try their best to print the candles a certain way. So bulls might want to hold the lows, and bears are definitely trying to hold the highs, which is shown. Let's get into the data a bit. We have this VWAP from basically this manipulation high, which was like the last high before this last downtrend started. The whole week, the price has tried to test it, and every time here we just front run it, went down. Here we wicked it, went down, and now we wick it again, and so far are again going down. So this is definitely a super important resistance level, which if we reclaim it, so we get above it, like often you can get 1, 2, 3 rejections, but if we now again get above, then that would be a pretty strong sign to me that we are flipping this VWAP, and that this supply is now also more or less mitigated. So then there's not much holding price back from reaching this supply, because here we basically also have like a lot of connecting highs, aka buy side liquidity, with a super clean imbalance into this supply. So for the bullish scenario, if we flip above this high we just printed, I think we can see 71k or so. But price is a bit in between because we can also have like a basically a 1, 2, that this is the 3 tab, and we go back to the lows. So it's a bit hard. So let me delete the volume profile, but it's not too clean. If we look at the market structure, then we basically had it came from the high, then low, lower high. Then here we SFP'd our low, so we did not break below it, but we SFP it, in which the high that brought you into that low is a weak targeted level. Then we broke above with, this was like yesterday, Monday, sketchy 3 kind of move. They already said like I was not too eager to take the short because it looked a bit weird, so I could see the higher low for the higher high as well, which eventually, like the short would have paid, but this was the idea where I was like, it can also just be in higher low, so then I just stayed calm. And then price made basically a higher low, SSP of your high, so a wick from this market structure high, which means that the low is a weak target level. So what did price do? Price came to the low, wicked the low again, in which the high was a weak target level. And now price wicked the high again. So we are seeing SFP after SFP after SFP, literally everywhere. So it's a bit, weird price action, to say the least. And it's super, super headline driven because there's good news, or at least one of the parties claims it's good news. Then we push up, and then later on it gets denied by the other party and we sell off. And then the other party say, oh, we are ready for peace talks, and like nobody believes it anymore. So it's a bit of a headline driven market. But if we look at it technically, then this is like another SFP. So this is the fourth, fifth, I don't know how many SFP of the high, in which technically the low is now again a targeted low. So we could rotate back to that. In that case, this is a pretty clean invalidation. So let's look on the high time frame. It also looks like bears definitely don't want price to go above here. There's definitely sellers in this level. But we also have buyers here at the lows. Price is compressing pretty hard. So then we can look what is the lower time frame. And there we have, on the 30-minute, we have some structure to work with. 15, see. Yeah, okay, so on the, if we just look at the 10-minute, which is pretty clean, then we had this push overnight, took out that high, and then just bled down, like no good bounce or anything, and just sell off. Or we took out this low, SFP'd it, and then started basically this local uptrend, which is now still uptrending till we break below here, but we have that wick into supply. So on the low time frame, there are 2 zones I'm watching basically, which is the demand right here, or basically from this candle starting, so right here, to see if price potentially gives a higher low for a higher high. And there's probably some supply. Yeah, 5-minute supply here, which could be the short, because if this was the third drive, then this is pretty clean invalidation that bears are defending, because bears seem to They don't want price to get above 68.4. So maybe if we get like a move into there, that shorts can be played. With that as invalidation and then target the low again. To just play the, once again, the SFP of this. In which the target level is this low right here. So let me put an alert in that supply and an alert in the demand. And then I want to just see, do we have weakness into this level for short, or do we first get down and then have structure into this level for potential long? But I don't, yeah, if I see this price action, then who tells me this is not just gonna continue with this? So super choppy price action, monthly and quarterly close. So we can expect choppy price action. Welcome for everyone joining into the stream. So yeah, plan is pretty simple. Let's look at the heat map, if that is telling us something. Okay, so this was the move down. Then price went up, sold off, pushed up again. Now perps are pretty aggressively longing into that last push up. But spot was also a bit bidding it. Yeah. There are some longs that entered here, buyers, which might get trapped. Would be the short trigger for the potential short. Let's see. This is the cleaner supply, and then here we also have like this supply. That might be areas I'm looking for local shorts. If there's structure into it, at least, then like break might try a scalp. Purely because the invalidation here is pretty clean to me. This high. I think if we go up, if we take out that high or go above that high, that we will go to 71k. So short from one of those levels, and for a long, we have basically yeah, it's not really significant structure. So for a long, I want to see price retracing into this level for the potential longs. Exactly the same, but then before it touches the supply, I want it to go down. So if we first go down, then I'm more bullish. If we first go up, then I'm more bearish. So let's wait for that now. Welcome, M. de Court. Good to see you. So that's the plan. Let's see if we have some small confluences. So I have some green factors into it. Yeah, I might be interested in the short. You're gonna see. Let's see. ETH just bounce from this demand with a pretty strong bounce. So if we zoom out a bit, ETH has been in this also giving pretty weird price action, looking pretty strong though. Where we also had like the same market structure. So we had basically low, high, low, lower high. SFP of your market structure low, going back to the market structure high, breaking it, market structure low, SFP or market structure high, go to your market structure low, SFP or market structure low, go back to your high. ETH is showing more strength, and now it also finally took out this liquidity high I marked out, which we front run, or here we took it to the dollar. But ETH looks stronger. This looks more like a break before potential continuation, while BTC looks a bit more like a tree drive. It's good to see that, because if ETH breaks higher, then BTC could also do it. And here we had like local 5-minute structure is still intact. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And price just bounced from this local demand zone. So now we can watch, can price make a new high, or breaks it structure back down, and then I also think it goes lower. For now it looks better as ETC. I would not really like to short ETH at this point. Because also for ETH we have like super clean supply right here. These imbalances are pretty likely to be filled sooner or later. So that can happen on ETH. S&P, not really interested in trading S&P. Good evening, everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, it's definitely a SFP day. It's pretty crazy. Let's keep an eye on the chart. $68 and $68,200. I think with shorts in those zone, they want some structure. Then let's have a look at oil, because we have this mega range with the range high, range low, and then the consolidation here below or in the middle. Then the push above, and now locally it's showing some signs of weakness. And this is the biggest, or has been the biggest indicator of what the real situation with the market is. So everyone is talking a lot of shit. Trump is talking a lot of shit. Iran is now also starting to talk more and more shit. But this is like the best indication, in my opinion, what the true situation is. So if this just pushes up, then we know they are bluffing. If it goes lower, then we know there might be some more truth in what they say. But here price basically at this local range, then broke up, and then broke it back to bearish. And right now we have this local consolidation, which starts to look pretty heavy. And especially since what is below, like this is pure liquidity. So going below this low could be a quick move down to take all this sales and liquidity. And on the long side, I'm not seeing a really clean trigger yet. So for oil, I might be more interested in shorts, honestly. Because to me, this broke. Then here, it broke again. So we basically have supply here and supply here, where you could get that lower high, or then lower low, and then maybe from there and higher high, or anything again. But I can't really see good longs, so I have an alert at oil in this zone for potential local lower high for lower low. because this was a pretty strong sell-off, and this is again a pretty strong sell-off. So sellers are locally more in control, it seems. Yeah, it's the listing of Binance tomorrow, because then the war is ended tomorrow, and we definitely should be in a short. Binance, it's like a curse. Everything they list, it's getting nuked. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on shorts in this zone, and we can also still come to the higher zone because we did not take out this high, and this is also where some supply is left. So also an alert at that level, and an alert below these lows. Let's see. So for Beats, only one place to place stop loss above the wick. Yeah, it depends a bit on how you want to play it. Like, what I personally would love to see is to move like this and then break down. In case you get that, you can place your stop above that local high. But there's a good chance you don't get the local trigger. So then you should use this as invalidation indeed. That's pretty clean invalidation. So if you look at the 4 hour, for example, you can clearly see that bears are trying to reject price there. Like on the 12 hour, like 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks. So definitely people trying to reject price. So if we get above this wick, then I think we squeeze much higher. Will there be a short tonight? Let's just see. To remain patient. So for oil, looking for shorts, and then lower down, like essentially, this also gives me a bit of PO3 vibes if I look at it from this vibe. But basically a range right here, then a like of ugly deviation below, and now like a potential deviation above. Which could be, I think something like this is pretty likely. So yeah, I'm interested in shorts on oil towards this demand. This is probably higher time frame. See, yeah, that's pretty clean 4 hour demand. So on the lower time frame, it's mostly sell side liquidity, but on the 4 hour, it looks like this, and then with that clean demand below. So also on that, there is a reason for price to potentially give that lower high for the lower low, which then eventually is the higher low. But need to see a reaction because this can, yeah, it's oil, can do anything at any moment. Gold is super strong. Let's watch it on the higher time frame a bit. Let's see. So this is 8 hour structure. So you basically have like low, lower high, lower low. You have two candles going higher on the 8 hour, lower low. So this is like your 8 hour bearish market structure, which is the highest market structure we can work with here. So that is definitely a level of interest for potential SFPs. Then you can look for shorts. It's a high time frame. this was the range, mega range. With this basically was the super deep wick below. Let's clean it up a bit. If we just watch it from this, then we had like range high, range low, a wick below, and now price pushing back to an important market structure high, which is this high right there. And you can already see how this is shaping up. It's creating a lot of stacked highs, lows, stacked lows. So this started to become more and more interesting from a short perspective. So this is like the last clean supply. Price is now in. And then the next big level is obviously that market structure high. And there above, there's also some supply, which are basically all the short PYs. But should not forget that the local trend is bullish. So you have higher lows and higher highs. So this is like now your clean bullish market structure low. Slow right there. Which is protected by some demand. Yeah, it's for now it's super strong, but it's giving me more interesting potential shorts than longs. Potential. Maybe like a period 3 kind of vibe can also be the case. Let's see. It's the deviation threshold right there. Here's also the demand. So demand is definitely in control for now, until proven otherwise. So this is the more important, like 1 hour market structure low. Then this is the more local 15 minutes. And then here we have the most local demand. So you, before looking for shorts, you want to see either clean distribution in that way, or price like demand failing, breaking local structure, and then also showing weakness here, and then look for potential shorts. For now, it can just travel to either that imported market structure high, or yeah, like just squeeze higher. For now, if we look at this local from high to low with sweep 2, then the deviation threshold is right here. So we can see if price stays within this level and shows like a sweep of the high or anything, then it can look can also look for shorts. We have basically a meme trend line right here, which more or less aligns with the range high retest. And with these obvious trend lines, you often have like 1, then tap 2, tap 3, tap 4 is often not to be trusted. So interesting levels. Main levels, this level right here, then the supply above. And also here, if we stay within the deviation threshold, watch what we do at this demand. But if we fall back, then I would watch for any weakness here. And then look to short it all the way back to here, at least. So we'll keep an eye on gold. Also here starting to show a bit of exhaustion. So then we have BTC. Mm, mm. It tapped into supply already. But what is the RR if we look for short, for example? 1.8 to this low. But for me, that's not really what I want. If I look at the price action here, super choppy. So then I rather, or either want to quickly de-risk, or I want to have a higher RR to be in a position here, because this can just chop around, and I don't want to see my like be in a position that flip-flops all around for a potential 2R. I know that eventually much better opportunities come, so then I just patiently wait. 100x futures. It would be the biggest meme if it's truly gonna dump after the listing. Would be crazy. Didi, how many Rimseas would you play on that Xiao leg up? Seems to be respecting. Yeah, like Rimseas basically when just demand or supply is in control. So here you have basically the break. So this was like range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, which was here basically again the same, although this was not a really good break. But here it's also like range, mitigate, break. Here, range, high, mitigate, break. But eventually, like, or demand can stay very long in control, of course. But the way this is building liquidity right here, to me shows that sooner or later, likely is gonna reverse. So I would not look for yet another ring C. Only maybe if we get like a deep one. And then this could maybe the push down up. So you can also look like if price comes down here and shows good structure, you can also just look for continuation longs. But to me, it's giving more signs that it's and we are in the extreme premium, so it's definitely not the area to look for longs too much. So yeah, gold waiting. I think it will offer some clean setups. Same for oil. For BTC, yeah, also waiting. Can be worth a short if you push a bit higher. BTC, ETH, not really clean. Hype is following the plan perfectly. I don't put my computer on for lesson 2 or Yeah, same. Needs to be a few. Like this is looking super good. I just see this as tab 1 and this is one tab. So this is my, for now, my tab 2, the price coming back. And now I want to see like either going higher from this supply and then going down again and then go for the tab. This is so clean that I would be surprised if we front run it. And then this can potentially be that model 1, which we have been pre-planning for a pretty long time. That is the model 1 idea, and it can also always be model 2. Although in this scenario, there is a reason to go for a model 1. Although price took out the sell side liquidity, let's see. Yeah, so it wicked exactly to those sell side liquidity lows before bouncing a little bit. So then we can look what's local price action. Like the cleanest I directly see is like lower low, lower high, lower low. So then this is the most important bearish market structure I would pay attention to, where you directly have supply above. So in case price, which is probably, is it 1 hour? Yeah, it's 1 hour market structure. So if price shows like a lot of strength and breaks above that market structure high and also shows strength in the supply, then we can also watch for a potential model 2. 1, 2, 3. So for now, just watching whichever it will be. Alerts are set. Tao, yeah, I don't like this range anymore. Main interest is at this market structure low, which is, what is it? Like if you look at 6 hour, for example, the market structure low is here. Because you have high, high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is probably, yeah, the lowest is 2 hour. Here we have 2 hour low, high. So here we can look, does price wick it, but does not close below it? SFP, break structure, then we can look for rotation back up. Because price is very slowly pulling back, which is pretty good for further continuation eventually. So alerts are also rating right here. And then internal, yeah, like most important is low, lower high, low, low, lower high, lower low. So this is like your bullish structure, but you can keep an eye on. If that already flips back to bullish, then might have to adapt to already entering. Like low, lower high, lower low, flip, potentially look for rim C and higher. Sol, yeah, don't like the Sol chart. So this page simply waiting for Tao, hype. ETH is also a bit awkward. BTC is pretty clean. Let me quickly have a view with everything on. Also, we know it's like statistically, our weekly low is here on Monday, and the weekly high is now on Tuesday. So statistically the low is stronger. But we know that if after tomorrow we make a new high, then it's likely that the low holds and we make new highs further in the week. But we have to keep in mind tomorrow is the first of the new month and the new quarter, so can be a fuckery. And also going into the like daily close, so next few hours can see quite some fuckery. So beside that, I don't have too much to say. Like normally my advice on monthly and especially quarterly closes is to be careful. Don't rush it too much. And then if you think rationally, like if you see this chop all around on headlines, and we are right now here with the monthly close and quarterly close and the Trump and stuff, like you can be more aggressive by, for example, just taking the short here, stop there, target this low because this is our weak targeted low to our good chance to play out, but yeah, I don't trust it too much yet. So personally, I'm gonna wait, but I'm also a bit more conservative till it's super clean. For me, it's not super clean right now. So for me, the alerts are set. Then I'm gonna just wait. Not even sure if I'm gonna pull a trigger today before the closes. But tomorrow I'm definitely gonna be looking for trades. Today I did not watch the market at all. So tomorrow we can look for some clean trades. Then yeah, like there are quite a lot of longs in this move, which can be used as liquidity, or they hold and push higher. It's not sure, not bull moon on Thursday. Yeah, let's push the markets on Thursday. I'll be running 26 kilometers, so I will have my mind on something else Thursday. But I allow the market to pump hard. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, a bit not the most exciting stream, but it's also evening, so usually a bit less volatile. Although with Trump, it can happen any moment. But tomorrow I'm back with updates, setups, ideas, and then we'll be streaming after New York Open, and then maybe we can catch some live trades because today we had some good volatility on the New York. This was new, yeah. Okay, we will see. Well, yeah. I know I came up with the stupid rule to run my birthday age each year. So last year I did 25 kilometers, and today or Thursday I turned 26. So I'm gonna run 26 kilometers. And the moment I don't achieve it anymore, then I know I'm getting old. Till then, I know, okay, I'm still getting fitter each year. So it's kind of to keep myself trying to become better each year, a little bit. But first we have to see if it's if I will also survive it. Yeah, I will. I will do. My knees can they can handle it. Luckily. Yeah. So for you, it's for me, it's still doable. The older I get, the harder it will be. But yeah. Good evening, everyone. Enjoy the evening, and I see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.